Welcome dear students in Pharmaceutics first practical session. Myself Mrs. Darshana Sandeep Shinde. Today we deal with the experiment number 42. Title of our today's experiment is to prepare, evaluate and submit 2 ampoules each of 10 ml dextrose injection IP. Its synonym is dextrose intravenous infusion, glucose intravenous infusion. Then we see the learning outcomes. After watching this video, students are able to develop intellectual skills such as to understand the concept of manufacturing parenterals using aseptic technique, to understand the concept of sterilization using filtration, to understand the concept of terminal sterilization of injection, that is autoclaving. Then some motor skills such as skill for measurement, skill for aseptic technique, sterile manufacturing, skill for sterile filtration, skill for sealing the ampoule. Then we see some concept regarding this experiment. Dextrose injection IP prepared and filled in an ampoule using aseptic technique. The solution is terminally sterilized by the autoclaving method. Now, introduction to preparation involving as a sterilization. Parenteral preparations are divided into solutions, emulsions with additives, liquid concentrate and dry solid concentrates. Then solutions, emulsions without additives, suspensions not for IV and spinal column. In this way, parenteral solutions are divided into 5 categories. Parenteral dosage forms are sterile products intended for administration by the injection, infusion or implantation into the body. These are administered by injection under or through one or more layers of the skin or the mucous membrane. Then parenteral dosage form must possess the following characteristics. It should be free from living microbes, free from microbial products such as toxin, pyrogens, free from physical contaminants such as the particulate matter, fibers, cellulose, glass, rubber, metal, plastic particles, undissolved chemical, rust, etc. Then freedom from chemical contaminants. Parenteral should be in a neutral pH. Formulation of the parenteral dosage forms are medicaments, vehicle and additives. Then we see the primary consideration in selection of the vehicle as a stability, as a solubility and as a safety. Vehicles are used in the parenteral preparations are aqueous vehicles, example of it water for injection, sterile water for injection. Then water miscible vehicles like polyethylene glycol, ethylene alcohol, propylene glycol, glycerine. Then non-aqueous vehicles such as fixed oils, corn oil, cottonseed oil, sesame oil, ethyl oleate are the vehicles used in the parenteral preparations. Then we see the additives. First is a preservative. Example of it chlorocresol 0.1% W/V, phenyl mercuric nitrate 0.001% weight by volume, phenyl mercuric acetate 0.001% weight by volume. Then second additives used for the preparation of the parenteral antioxidants. Example of it sodium metabisulfate, tocopherol, ascorbic acid, butyrylated hydroxyl anisole, then butyrylated hydroxytoluene. Chelating agent, example of it ETTA. Buffering agents, example acetate buffer, citrate buffer, phosphate buffers are used in the parenterals. Isotonicity contributors are the sodium chloride and dextrose. Wetting agents are queen 80, sorbitan, triolate. Suspending agents are the polyvinyl, pyrrolidinol, acacia. Emulsifying agent is lecithin. Viscosity contributors in a parenteral preparation is used as glycerine. Then we see the containers required for the parenterals Ideal properties of the injectable containers are: it should be sufficiently transparent, maintained quality and quantity of the during the storage of the drug, non-permeable, yield no foreign substance into the preparation. Injections are supplied in a single dose container, that is in ampoules, multiple dose container in a vials. Single dose container may be useful for all injections preparations administration at one time within the 1 ml or the more. Multiple dose containers, these are permit withdrawal of a single dose by the sterile syringe without affecting the quality of the remaining solution. These two type of containers, single dose container and multiple dose containers, are used for the parenteral preparations. Then we see the closures. Vials or bottles are fitted with the suitable closures with the ensure a good seal, prevent the entry of the microorganism and other contaminants, and usually permits the withdrawal of a part or the whole of the content of the container. Rubber is the material of choice for closure for multiple dose vials, intravenous fluid bottles. Then rubber closure permit introduction of the needle from a hypodermic syringe into multiple dose vials and provide a resealing of a vial after the needle is withdrawn. Rubber closure is held in the position by aluminum seal. When antimicrobial preservative is used, the closure should be placed in the solution of the preservatives. In this way, closures should have the properties of while during the preparation of the parenterals. Then we see the sealing of the ampoules. Ampoules are sealed by the melting of a portion of the glass neck. Two types of seals are employed normally: tip seal, that is also known as the bead seal, and pool sealing. Tip seal or bead seal. Tip seal are made by the melting enough glass at the tip of the neck of the ampoule to form a bead and close the opening. These can be done rapidly at the high temperature in a gas oxygen flame. To produce the uniform bead, the ampoule's neck must be heated evenly on all sides by rotating the ampoules in a single flame. Then the next is the pool sealing. Pool sealing are made by heating the neck of the ampoule below the tip, leaving enough of the tip for the grasping with the forceps and then mechanical device. Then we see the classification of the sterilization. Sterilization can be classified into main three groups: physical method, chemical method, and mechanical method. Physical method further divided into dry heat sterilization, example of it hot air oven; moist heat sterilization, example of it autoclave, tyndallization, pasteurization, heating with bactericide, and sterilization of vaccines. Then third method of physical method is a radiation sterilization. This radiation sterilization is again divided into use of the UV rays and ionizing radiation. Chemical method consists of sterilization by heating with the bactericides and gaseous sterilization. Mechanical method consists of using different filters like ceramic filter, Sinter's filter, sintered glass filter, sintered metal filter, and membrane filter. This is the classification of the sterilization. Then we see most commonly used methods employed in the laboratory for the sterilization. First method is using hot air oven. It is done at the temperature 160 degrees Celsius for the 2 hours. It is used for the sterilization of glass vials, ampoules, metal equipments, glasswares like the pipettes, petri dishes, ointment bags, etc. Then we see the next is the moist heat sterilization. For the moist heat sterilization, we use the autoclave. By using the autoclave, attempt the temperature 121 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. It creates a 15 lbs pressure for 20 to 30 minutes. It is used for the sterilization of rubber closure, glasswares, plastic container, terminal sterilization of official injections, and eye drops. Then the next method is heating with the bactericide. It is used for the sterilization of the official injections. It consists of a heating solution in their final container in the boiling water or the steam at 98 to 100 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes with the bactericide. The permitted bactericides are 0.02% chlorocresol, 0.002% phenyl mercuric nitrate is used. Then the next method is filtration through the bacteria-proof filter. Filtration of official injections and eye drops through the central glass filter. These are manufactured from powdered borosilicate glass and available in the grade G1 to G5. Sterilization for the sterile filtration G3 to G5 grades is used. Then the labeling. Label of the preparation states the name of the preparation, the percentage of the content of the drug liquid preparation, the amount of the active ingredients in the dry preparation, the volume of a liquid to be added in the preparation, an injection or suspension from a dry preparation, the route of administration, the statement of a storage condition and expiry date also be mentioned, name and proposition of all substances added to increase the stability of usefulness. Then we see the processing of the parenteral, that is aseptic techniques. The numerous stringent requirements of parenteral products call for a vigilant processing program. Entire handling has to be ordered in such a way that the product remain free from the various contaminants that come from the environment and the person. The raw material should be special grade of purity. The many manufacturers supply the material of the parenteral grade quality. In processing of the product, following control should be exercised. We should have environmental control, air control and personal control. We see the environmental control. The environmental in which the parenteral products are prepared, sterilized, and packed must be comparatively free from the particulate contamination and microbial contamination. For an aseptic area, a clean room with the total environmental control, that is control of temperature, humidity, particulate contaminants, microbial contamination. Construction of an area should be such that it prevents the leakage of air or out of the clean room. The surface wall, floors, ceiling should be smooth, impervious and unbroken in order to minimize the shedding and accumulation of the particle. It should be permit the repeated use of the disinfectant like the IPA 70%, that is isopropyl alcohol, Sedex, Lysol, aerosol. Then wall, floor, ceiling should be painted with the germicidal paint. Glass panel fitted into the walls permit the greater visibility and facilitate the supervision from the non-sterile area. Then entry of a material or a person into the area should be throughout airlock. Airlock is space with two or more doors, only one of which can be opened at a one time. Then air control. In a sterile area should be ultra clean, which is obtained by the air filtration. Air filtration done by the following two ways. First of all, we do the pre-filtration, which is done to remove the coarse particles and prevent the load of the HEPA filter. Pre-filters are made up of the glass, wool, cloth, then shredded plastic. Then final filtration of air is done through the HEPA filters. HEPA's long form is high efficiency particulate air filter. Filters are made up of the cellulose acetate, cellulose nitrate, polymers or glass filtrate. These filters have an efficiency of 99.97%, removing the particles of 0.03 micrometers size in average velocity of the 100 feet per minute. These fitted either horizontally in the wall or vertically in the ceiling with the unidirectional flow. HEPA filters are operated under the positive pressure with the laminar flow. This is the laminar flow. The main critical operation as a sterile testing or filling of injection should be carried out under the laminar air flow. Laminar air flow or laminar air hood is a system in which air is filtered within the confined space in a parallel layer with the uniform velocity of 100 square feet per minute, causing the sweeping of the contaminants with the airflow. Then we move toward the personal control. Operators working in the sterile area should be neat, reliable, alert, should have a good manual dexterity. Minimum number of persons are allowed to working in a sterile area. Personnel should wear a protective clothing while working in a sterile area which provide the protection of the products against the contaminations. Then the cloth included in the surgical mask, headgear, one piece of the overall suit to cover whole the body and particles, free gloves and overshoes. Then we see the before entering into the aseptic area, following preparations and procedures should be followed. Removal of outside stripped cloth and wearing a sterilized aseptic clothing. Scrubbing the hands and arms with the disinfectant soap and then entered in the sterile area. Personnel should be aware of the aseptic techniques. They should work systematically with the rhythmic movement so that no particulates are generated. These are the precautions. This should be followed while entering into the aseptic area. Then we see the apparatus required for today's experiment. Distillation assembly with the baffles, gloves, mask, face mask, syringe, ampoules, jet burner, etc. and forceps for the bead sealing. Then we move toward the formulation table. Formulation table contains the ingredient, quantity given, quantity taken and use of ingredient. We have to prepare only 10 ml of that and ingredient required water for injection which we will obtain after the distillation of water. It's used as a vehicle. This can be calculated. We have to prepare 10. Our quantity required is 10. Quantity given is 100. Our factor is 0.1. By this we get quantity taken. And then we go through the stepwise procedure. Sterile water for injection IP is a single dose preparation in a container not larger than 1 liter. Sterile water for injection is a free from all microbial contaminants and should be free from pyrogen. It should be free from particulate matter, fibers, dust, particle, etc. Baffles are used in the preparation of water for injection to avoid the entrapment of the droplet carrying the pyrogen. Otherwise, it will contaminate the distillate. First, water for injection is distilled water free from the pyrogen. It do not contain any bactericide or bacteriostatic agent. It is prepared by distillation using the baffle, steel or may be prepared by reverse osmosis. When it is prepared by distillation, the first portion of the distillate is discarded and the remaining portion is collected. Fill the water for injection into the 10 ml ampoules. Seal the ampoule using the burner and the forceps. Sterile the ampoule using the autoclave at the 121 degrees Celsius, maintaining 15 lbs pressure for the 30 minutes. Observe the ampoule for the particulate matter. Dose, no significant dose since it is used as a vehicle. Category, its category is pharmaceutical aid used for the reconstitution. Storage condition, store in a single dose container not larger than 1 liter size. Then we move toward the laboratory for the practical session.
Welcome dear students in the pharmaceutics first laboratory session. Today we deal with the experiment number 42, that is to prepare, evaluate and submit 2 ampoules of 10 ml of dextrose injection IV. Let's see the apparatus required for the today's experiment and chemicals. In the chemical section, we have to require dextrose, and this is our distilled water. Let's start the preparation. This is the quantity of the dextrose we already measure, that is the 0.5 gram for the 10 ml. Take a beaker, take 20 ml of water, distilled water. Then pour this dextrose, wetted dextrose into the beaker add WFI into it, stir it well. Then we filter our dextrose injection from the central glass filter to remove any contamination. Our filtration is completed. We pour this filtered dextrose injection into the beaker and fill into the ampoules. This is our ampoule of 10 ml dextrose injection IP is ready, which is used for the nutrient and fluid repletioner as used. Store, we can fill it into a single dose container. Then we move toward the observation and evaluation table. Let our solution is ready to fill up into the ampoule. These are two ampoules which have the capacity of 5 ml each. With the help of the syringe, we can fill it into the ampoule. Let's go towards the aseptic chamber. Now in an aseptic chamber, we can fill our solution into the ampoule. We can fill or take a drug into this syringe. Syringe had 5 ml capacity. Pour it into the ampoule. Take again 5 ml. Our ampoule has capacity of 10 ml. Then fill second ampoule. In this way, 2 ampoules are ready. Then we will do the sealing. Let's do the sealing. We can seal these 2 ampoules by 2 methods. tip pull also and pin pull also. First of all, we do the tip pull method. For that purpose, take the neck of ampoule on the burner, move, continuously move till it is hot and the red, the glass is melted one. See, the glass will be softer one. We can heat it for more time. We press through the forceps. See, our glass will start soften one, but we require more time for a proper sealing. See, the glass is starting melted one. We rotate the ampoule. Twist the glass, molten glass, twisted it for proper sealing so that the glass will be attached to each one another and our ampoule get properly sealed. Completely rotate the ampoule for proper sealing. In this way, we seal our ampoule. 10 ml of ampoule is ready. In this way, we can seal the second ampoule also. Then we will proceed for the observation and evaluation table. The observation and evaluation table. Let's see, our two ampoules are ready. We fill into the 10 ml of ampoule and properly seal. See, properly seal, and then we sterilize it by autoclaving. For that purpose, place these two ampoules into the autoclave. we set the autoclaving assembly and we heat almost 20 minutes for 150 degrees Celsius, which maintaining the 15 lb pressure. After the 1 hour, after the 1 hour, cool the total autoclave assembly and we remove our sterilized ampoules. It is still too hot. This is our ampoules are ready.
Now we see the observation and evaluation table. Observation and evaluation table contain the name of the preparation, test, specification and observation. Name of our preparation is dextrose injection IP. First test is the description. It's clear when we confirm that test. Second, it's odor. Odorless, we confirm that test. Third test is particulate matter. We see there is no any particle in our ampoules. We confirm that test. Leakage test. No leakage should be found. We also confirm that test. And the preparation's pH is between 3.5 to 6.5 and we confirm that test also. Then we move toward the labeling of the formulation. Labeling of the formulation should contain the name of the preparation at the top of the label and at its right hand side it should contain its net quantity. Then preparation should contain its ingredients names with their concentration. Then category, nutrient and fluid repletioner. Then dose prescribed by the physician. Storage condition, it should be stored in a single dose container in a well closed container. Then in a label should contain the manufacturing license number, manufacturing batch number, manufacturing date, expiry date, maximum retail price of your product. And at the bottom of the label should contain the name and address of the manufacturer. In this way the label should be done. Then the result is written as 10 ml of dextrose injection IP is submitted in a single dose with the neat label complying evaluation test. Then we move toward the question answer session. The first question is define parenteral. Parenterals are the dosage forms of the sterile products intended for administration by the injection, infusion or implantation into the body. Parenterals are also those preparations intended for injection through the skin or other external boundary tissue. The next question is what are the aseptic techniques? Aseptic technique is a collection of a medical practice and the procedure that help to protect the patient from the dangerous germs, bacteria, virus and microorganisms are everywhere. So, using aseptic technique can help him important equipment for being contaminated. Then the next question is state the different quality control tests performed for the parenterals. Sterility test, pyrogen test, liquor test, particulate matter test. These are the tests performed for the parenterals. Will the particulate matter test is required for the parenteral? Yes. Particulate matter test is required for the parenterals. Then next question is state the type of the container to be used for the parenterals. That is single dose container and multiple dose containers. Then state the different methods of ampoule sealing, tip sealing and mid sealing. These are two techniques for sealing the ampoules. Then next question is what is the terminal sterilization? Give the different method of terminal sterilization. First of all, we see what is meant by terminal sterilization. It is a process whereby product is sterilized in its final container or packaging, which permit the measurement and the evaluation of the quantifiable microbes lethality. That means they kill. After packaging, terminal sterilization able to kill that bacteria or microorganism. Methods of terminal sterilization are moist heat sterilization, radiation gaseous heat sterilization, dry heat sterilization. Thank you very much for attending practical session.